Okay, let's jump right into our deep dive today. We're heading into Esther chapter 3.
Right. We're back in King Xerxes' court. Lots of power plays happening there.
Definitely. And chapter 3 kicks off with a big one. This guy Haman, son of Hammedatha the Agagite, gets a massive promotion.
Yeah, Xerxes elevates him, puts him above all the other nobles. A huge deal.
And it's not just status. The king actually commands all the officials at the king's gate. Well, it tells them they have to kneel down, pay honor to Haman.
It's a very public display of Haman's new power. Sets the scene perfectly.
Because there's a snag, isn't there? Someone isn't playing along.
Exactly. Mordecai, he's one of those officials at the king's gate, and he just doesn't kneel, doesn't pay Haman honor.
Day after day, apparently, the other officials notice, obviously. They start asking him, hey, why are you breaking the king's command?
And Mordecai's answer is pretty direct. He tells them, well, the text says he had told them that he was a Jew.
Okay, let's pause there. What's the significance? Why would being a Jew mean refusing to bow to Haman? Is it religious?
It's probably a mix of things. For someone like Mordecai, deeply rooted in his faith and identity, that kind of absolute obeisance might feel like something reserved only for God, maybe not for another human official, especially not just any official.
Yeah, like it crosses a line for him.
Exactly. And, Jewish customs and laws often set them apart, which becomes a key point later. So his identity and his actions are completely linked here.
So the other officials, they hear this reason, I'm a Jew, and they basically tattle on him to Haman, right? They want to see if Haman will let this slide.
Pretty much. They want to test the limits. And Haman's reaction when he finds out, pure rage at first.
Just furious that someone dared to defy him personally.
Yes, but then he learns why. He finds out Mordecai is a Jew. And this is where it just takes a terrifying turn.
Yeah, this is where it gets really chilling. It stops being just about Mordecai's personal insult to Haman.
Completely. Haman finds out Mordecai's people, his identity group, and suddenly punishing just one man seems, well, beneath him in his twisted view.
He scorns the idea.
He does. The personal slight, seen through this lens of Mordecai being Jewish, just explodes. He decides he needs to destroy all of Mordecai's people, the entire Jewish population throughout Xerxes' whole kingdom.
Wow. From one guy not bowing to genocide, the leap is staggering.
It really is. And he doesn't waste time. It says, in the first month of Xerxes' 12th year, Haman starts the process.
How? What does he do first?
He has them cast that's the lot. Basically like rolling dice to pick the date.
To find the right day and month for this massacre?
Exactly. And the lot falls on the 12th month, which is the month of Adar. So the date is set almost a year away.
But he needs the king's, the official seal of approval.
Right. So he goes to Xerxes, and he doesn't explicitly name the Jews at first. He describes them, strategically.
How does he put it?
He says there's a certain people dispersed and scattered whose customs are different and who do not obey the king's laws. Makes them sound like trouble.
Like outsiders, a potential threat to order.
Precisely. He argues it is not in the king's best interest to tolerate them. And then the kicker.
The money.
Yeah. He ars 10,000 talents of silver, an absolutely colossal sum, maybe 2/3 of the empire's entire annual income.
Just unbelievable. He's willing to personally fund the destruction of an entire people group.
It's staggering. And Xerxes, his response is almost more chilling than Haman's hatred.
He doesn't even question it, doesn't ask which people.
Nope. Takes off his signet ring, the symbol of his absolute authority, hands it to Haman.
Wow.
And basically says, keep the silver and the people. Do with them as you please. Just like that. Gives Haman total power.
That ring is the ultimate rubber stamp, so the plan goes into high gear now.
Immediately. Even though the date for the killing is months away, the decree goes out right then, on the 13th day of the first month.
They call in the secretaries, write it all down.
In every script, every language for all the provinces. Sealed with the king's ring, no questioning its authority.
And sent out by couriers, fast riders across the whole empire.
And the content of that decree is just brutal. No ambiguity.
What did it say exactly?
To destroy, kill, and annihilate all the Jews, young and old, women and little children on a single day, that 13th day of Adar, and to plunder their goods.
Total annihilation, state-sanctioned. And while this death sentence is racing across the land, what's happening back in Susa, the capital?
The contrast is stark. The text says, the king and Haman sat down to drink.
Just drinking, while the edict goes out.
Complete detachment, it seems. But the city itself, it says Susa was bewildered, confused, thrown into turmoil.
So when you step back from this chapter, what does it really drive home for you, for us listening?
I mean, it's a terrifying look at how personal anger, maybe mixed with prejudice, can just spiral out of control when unchecked power is involved. Yeah, from one slight to a plan for mass murder.
And the speed is alarming, how quickly it happens when the person at the very top is indifferent, or worse, complicit, handing over that ring.
Exactly. It shows the vulnerability of any group when hatred gets access to the levers of power and authority just looks away or says, do as you please.
It's an ancient story, but it really leaves you thinking, doesn't it? That final thought, maybe. How easily can indifference combine with a personal vendetta and real power to cause absolute devastation? And what does that suggest about our own responsibility, even now, to not just be bewildered bystanders?